Hi, Tanas. It's Miss Emily, and I want to share with you two stories I found. And as we're focusing on community wellness this month of September, Quiet's Moon, and just think how the characters and the story can relate to a healthy community. And the first one I want to read to you is Bear and Turtle and the Great Lake Race. Okay, let's see what happens in this story. Bear and Turtle and the Great Lake Race. Bear was in a bad mood as he wandered through the snowy woods. His grumbling sounded like distant thunder, scaring all the other animals into hiding. He was not a happy bear at all. Bear did not know that it was best to take a long nap during the wild winds of winter. I hate the snow, he moaned as he froze. It's now so cold it hurts my toes. Bear was brilliant at complaining. He came to the edge of a large frozen lake. It was a huge, glittering plate of ice. Blinded by the reflection, Bear tripped over something small and green and fell flat on his face in the freezing snow. Oh no. Now he's really going to be grumpy and not like the snow. Oh, my toes, he howled, furious, looking to see what he had tripped him. Sorry. He saw a small green turtle. What are you doing in my way, slow coach on legs? Who are you calling slow? Replied the turtle in a long, drawn-out drawl. Well, I don't see anyone else here, Mr. Not to 60 in 5 years, said Bear very rudely. How dare you insult a turtle? We may look slow, but we can move surprisingly fast. Turtle sniffed, getting quite upset. Move fast? Huh! I could beat you in any race. Hands down, easy peasy, pudding and pie, yawned Bear. Whew. This was too much for Turtle. Thoughts and ideas raced round his head. Quick as quick, he announced. Okay then, Mr. Speedy, let's have a race to see who really is the fastest of them all. I wonder who was really going to be fast. Mighty fine by me, said Bear. It'll be a walkover. You might as well give up now, oh slithery sloth. But anyhow, where shall we race? Why, beamed Turtle, along the lake, of course. But how? Asked Bear, whose brain was as small as his body was big. The lake is frozen solid. Well now, Turtle said, scratching his head as if he were thinking, you can run along the bank, and I will swim along the edge. I will make holes in the ice and pop my head out of every one until we both reach the end. Turtle drew a plan in the snow, and we shall meet again at sunrise tomorrow to see who is the fastest bear or turtle. Wonderful, answered Bear. Yet another chance to prove that I am the quickest, slickest, fly-by-fur in town. And Bear ambled off, smiling to himself. Now, do you think that Turtle was worried? For how can a tiny turtle take on a big, bold bear? It's impossible, surely. It cannot be done. Or can it? The very next day, the sun rose and painted the sky like a chieftain's headdress. Bear arrived bright and early and did 50 star jumps and 100 press-ups by the side of the lake. That was just for starters. Are you ready, Turtle? He howled. Bear was now full of beans and raring to go. He peered over the lake and noticed a neat row of holes punched in the ice in a straight line heading across the lake. Turtle suddenly popped his head out of the first hole. Good morning, Bear. I'm as ready as only a clever turtle can be. Bear had no idea what turtle meant, but now it was time to get serious. He knelt down at the starting point. On your mark, get set, go. And they're going. Seems like Turtle might have something up his sleeve, huh? Bear was off like lightning. Each step shook the trees as he thundered past. Why, even Great Eagle would be jealous of his turn of speed. Turtle's head vanished from the first hole, but before Bear could even blink his eyes, Turtle's head popped up out of the second hole. Luck, growled Bear, and he charged on, challenging even the wind as he whistled through the woods. But before Bear could take another breath, Turtle's head popped out of the third hole. Oh, there he goes. A fluke, howled Bear, who was barely ahead by now. His legs went into overdrive, leaping like lions through a desert of snow. But before he could even work out how or understand why, Turtle's head popped out of the fourth hole. Turtle's head was now ahead. Bear sagged. Bear slowed. His breath struggled out of his little steamy puffs as he floundered and blundered towards the finish. Quick as the click of a finger, Turtle's head popped up out of the holes number 5, 6, 7, 8, and finally hole number 9. Turtle's head bowed slowly as he waited for Bear. The race, I think, is mine. Bedraggled Bear dragged his bulk to the finish line. He lay sobbing in a heavy heap, beating his chest and wailing, I failed. Slowly, quietly, he got to his paws and walked away without another word. Oh, it's pretty sad. As soon as Bear was out of sight, Turtle tapped the ice with his claw. Immediately, 8 other turtles popped their heads up through the holes in the ice. They were Turtle's brothers and sisters who looked alike. Together, they all cheered. So he did have a trick. Once bold, now beaten Bear slunk away. He was so tired he crept into a cave and he slept the rest of the cold season through, as he does every winter to this day. Well done to the turtle family. It simply goes to show that our brains are really the quickest, though our bodies might be slow. Okay. Bear and Turtle on the Great Lake Race. And now, so be thinking about how they all work together in their community. And baby rattlesnake. Okay. Turtle page. Out in the place where the rattlesnakes live, there was a little boy rattlesnake who cried all the time because he did not have a rattle. He said to his mother and father, I don't know why I don't have a rattle. I'm made just like my brother and sister. How can I be a rattlesnake if I don't have a rattle? Mother and Father Rattlesnake said, you are too young to have a rattle. When you get to be as old as your brother and sister, you will have a rattle too. But baby Rattlesnake did not want to wait. He just cried and cried. He shook his tail, and when he couldn't hear a rattle sound, he cried even louder. Mother and Father said, shh, shh, shh. Brother and sister said, shh, shh, shh. But baby Rattlesnake wouldn't stop crying. He kept the rattlesnake people awake all night. The next morning, the rattlesnake people called a big council. They talked and they talked just like people do, but they couldn't decide how to make that little baby rattlesnake happy. He didn't want anything to do but a rat, or he didn't want anything else but a rattle. Last, one of the elders said, "Go ahead, give him a rattle. He's just too young and he'll get into trouble, but let him learn a lesson. I just want to get some sleep." So they gave baby Rattlesnake a rattle. Baby Rattlesnake loved his rattle. He shook his tail, and for the first time he heard ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch. He was so excited. He sang a rattle song. Ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch. He danced a rattle dance. Ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch. Soon, baby Rattlesnake learned to play tricks with his rattle. He hid in the rocks, and when small animals came by, he darted out rattling. He made old Jackrabbit jump. He made old man Turtle jump. He made Prairie Dog jump. Each time baby Rattlesnake laughed and laughed. He thought it was fun to scare the animal people. Mother and father warned baby Rattlesnake, "You must not use your rattle in such a way." Big brother and big sister said, "You are not being careful with your rattle." The rattlesnake people told baby Rattlesnake to stop acting so foolish with his rattle. Baby Rattlesnake did not listen. One day, baby Rattlesnake said to his mother and father, "How will I know a chief's daughter when I see her?" "Well, she's usually very beautiful and walks with her head held high," said father. "And she's very neat in her dress," added mother. "Why do you want to know?" asked father. "Because I want to scare her," said baby Rattlesnake. And he started off down the path before his mother and father could warn him never to do a thing like that. The little fellow reached the place where the Indians traveled. He curled up on a log and he started rattling. He was having a wonderful time. All of a sudden, he saw a beautiful maiden coming toward him from a long way off. She walked with her head held high, and she was very neat in her dress. "Ah," thought baby Rattlesnake, "she must be the chief's daughter." Baby Rattlesnake hid in the rocks. He was excited. This was going to be his best trick. He waited and waited. The chief's daughter came closer and closer. When she was in just the right spot, he darted off the rocks. "Oh!" cried the chief's daughter. She whirled around, stepping on baby Rattlesnake's rattle and crushing it to pieces. Uh-oh. Baby Rattlesnake looked at his beautiful rattle, scattered all over the trail. He didn't know what to do. He took off for home as fast as he could. Oh. With great sobs, he told mother and father what had happened. They wiped his tears and gave him big rattlesnake hugs. For the rest of that day, baby Rattlesnake stayed safe and snug close to his rattlesnake family. Okay, the end.